Thank you. It would have been rather unfair to be able to speak to this great audience today in London at the Open Government Summit this year and not remember that particular scene from Yes Minister. Before I actually start my presentation, I'd like to address a couple of congratulations. First of all, to the hosts of this event, to the United Kingdom, not only for being here today together with all of you, but for their extended leadership on open government over the past several years. To all of you, obviously, here from all around the world, it's impressive, and I'm honored to be here with you today. And last but not least, my fellow bright spots. I saw all their presentations earlier today, and I'm not really sure if I'd rather like them to win than me. Now, myself, these are a couple of famous figures born in Romania. You will recall, I think, Count Dracula. Secondly, there's Nadia Comaneci, which is the first gymnast in history. Then there's Elie Wiesel, which is a survivor of the Holocaust and the Nobel Peace Prize winner. Ilie Năstase, world #1 in tennis during the 1970s. Nicolae Ceausescu, which you might also have heard of, a famous communist controversial figure, and Gheorghe Hagi, the best football player we have. So, enough about Romania. This was from a hackathon we did. I'm in my third year as a PhD candidate in Bucharest right now. My thesis is about integrity in public administration. Along the past years, I have interned in several public institutions, home and abroad. I attended a number of summer schools on anti-corruption. And beginning last year in December, I've started working for the government. How did I get there, though? Well, I don't have a background in IT particularly. All my studies surround government and public administration. Small website I made. It's just a WordPress. The ones of you that are IT literate will know that's not very complicated. What this website did was put together in one single place all the civil service jobs available throughout the country, from ministries and departments in Bucharest to city halls. This meant having access to information in one single place. You didn't have to go to the headquarters of a specific institution to ask about it. You didn't have to get a phone call or an email. You don't even want to try emailing public institutions in Romania. And this apparently was joining in. A lot of emails were coming back to us saying that it's finally great to get a chance to know what's particularly useful, because in Romania, as in probably some countries present here today, we have an issue of nepotism and favoritism when it comes to taking up public jobs. People won't really even know about the jobs until after they're occupied by somebody. Or they will post up a public announcement, but it's just to keep on with the formalities. The decision has already been taken. So that was the idea behind the website. Let's allow people to know the information and give them a fair chance about it. Afterwards, the media got onto the website. For those of you who don't actually speak Romanian, this headline says a 25 years old managed with 500 euros to do something that the state hasn't been able to do for the past 20 years. A website reuniting all the public sector jobs. Now, thank you. Thank you. Now, this was great because it went viral online. Not because of the story itself, but it is a great title, you have to admit. 1 month passed after this news article, and while I was doing pretty good with the website on matters of how many people were joining in, it still wasn't enough because the system needed to be changed, not just creating a website about it. So what I did was write the Prime Minister of my country. I'm not politically affiliated, I just have some knowledge in administration. But I did decide to write an open letter to the Prime Minister, just asking, considering he mentioned the word transparency about 23 times in the government program, that we should actually do something about it. Here's where it got a bit complicated, because when I wrote the letter, I wasn't really sure what kind of feedback that might get. Are they going to say, okay, so how do we get rid of this guy? Because obviously he might be a bit of a pain at some point. Or the more positive scenario that we actually meet. So this is where the story becomes a bit interesting. Radu, which is here with me today, was the person from the office of the Prime Minister that invited me for a discussion. And I started talking to Radu about projects. He had just joined the PM's office as well. And I was very enthusiastic about meeting somebody that was from outside the system, but actually knew the problems and knew we needed to improve things. So a couple of weeks later, I think, I got into this photo. The guy standing next to me is the Prime-Minister of Romania in his office. That photo was taken. The picture depicts me explaining what isn't working on civil service recruitment, and his expression is, well, natural. But no, he's a great guy after all. Okay. He is my boss, so. Okay. So, getting back to the website, these are the statistics from 2012. We just posted about 3,500 jobs, which is all there was in 2012. But the thing is, we got about 1.7 million page views for that many jobs, which in my belief was great because people were actually getting the info and then starting using it. After my website and after I joined the PM's team in Romania, we improved it a bit, as in not just keeping it static, but added a few features as well. This is one of them. This is a real-time geolocalization of the civil service jobs available in Romania. People can just click on whatever button or zoom in and see what job there is, the conditions you need to apply for, etc. Now, this is obviously all on the online. You can't really see real change just through a website. So what I did afterwards was just call up institutions and say, you remember that job offer you had and the deadline expired so you can apply? How many candidates did you get for that? Because that's how you quantify, obviously, a website. So point E is where the job website actually started. Before then, institutions like the Competition Council or Ploiești City Halls or Bucharest City Hall had about 1, 2, 5 candidates per job. It went up to 50, which is cute and funny because they had so many candidates that they didn't have room to examine them all in the same time. And that created a bit of a logistical issue. The things I'd like to leave with you today are the following. We, after this tremendous event, will return to our countries. And in continuous to our efforts, I think not only should we act on a national level, but maintain a network about it. I think that's the whole idea of the OGP, actually. Just promote good ideas and take things forward. I started with a clip from Yes Minister. I'd like to end with a quote from Yes Minister as well. At some point, a government official was saying, if people don't know what the government is doing, then they don't really know what the government is doing wrong. Thank you.